Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. So, TCG Metagame Breakdown for, February 20th, 2017. First time I do a TCG Metagame Breakdown review, other than the OCG ones, but nothing too spectacular for the OCG. So let's take a look at our TCG Metagame. Previously I didn't really do any videos about this since it's a bit hard to to see which deck lists that I'm going to use or which tournaments that I'm going to use to like get somewhat of a good look at our format, a good representation of our format. But from past weekend, I think the most easy one, and I think is the most interesting one, is of course to look at YCS Seattle, the YCS from past weekend in the USA. And we only know the top 32 deck lists, so let's take a look at that one. But I think looking at those top deck lists at the YCS past weekend, I think we can get like a good view of our current TCG metagame. So as you all know, I will leave the link in the video description, so feel free to check out more information about the YCS there. And apparently there were only 851 players, which isn't really a lot for USA standards. I mean, most of their YCSs is like above 1,000, while in the in Europe our YCSs are somewhat of that caliber, like 800-ish people, unless it's like a YCS maybe in France or Germany or maybe Italy as well. But as we saw in the finals, we had Noir Green, which eventually lost the final with his Zodiac artifact variant, and eventually it was a Zodiac Kaiju variant that took it all. And as you probably already have seen, I believe it was also mentioned in the stream, that eventually from the top 32 lists, I believe he mentioned that 30 of the top 32 lists were all featuring Zodiacs, and that's something, we all saw coming, right? About 11 decks, Zodiac decks, were, I mean, pure Zodiac builds, which we saw obviously in the OCG as well, where the pure version of Zodiac Beasts was the most represented version in the top cuts, quickly followed by the Kaiju variant, quickly OTKs, and then one artifact build, well, mainly because of sight, and then, artifacts as well, Cosmo, Infernoids, one with 40 cards, Metal Foes, one Light Sworn, one Paleozoic. Very important is that apparently this Paleozoic player, he was running the Blaze Accelerator, the volcanic, somewhat of a volcanic engine with Scattershot as well, as we were able to read on the Konami website. And then last but not least, one of the only decks that wasn't running Zodiac Beast, and that was the pure Burning Abyss, or at least, Burning Abyss, featuring 60 cards. But as we know from the OCG, so let's take a look at one of the videos I uploaded back then, and this is one of the videos, OCG Metagame Breakdown, from back in November, as you see here. And this format, I mean, the statistics here are pretty much, I think we can definitely compare it to our current TCG format. Well, in the OCG back then, there were like 7 out of 10, so about 70% were Zodiac Beast variants, so either Metal Foes, Kaiju, etc. Followed by the Infernoids, about 8%, and then the other decks, right? ABC, Metal Foes, Paleozoic, etc, etc. But the thing we saw back then, so about like 3 months ago, we see now happening in the TCG. So that's definitely something we could have expected. And then a little more focused on the top 8, Billy Break again managed to top 8 back-to-back almost, after his YCS victory at Bochum a couple of months ago. But looking at the top 8, 2 Infernoids, 2 Zoo, triple Kaiju Zodiac, and the 1 artifact Zoo build of Noah Green. But I don't have any lists since, from what I wasn't able, at least I wasn't able to find any lists, so probably the list will be uploaded during the next upcoming days, pretty sure about that. But something important, no ABC, no DDD. DDD was introduced like a couple of weeks ago. Definitely one of the best, if not the best deck before the release of Zodiac Beasts. And now, with the release of Zodiac Beasts, both ABC, also one of the best decks before this new released archetype, together with DDDs, are pretty much, or have been pretty much pushed to the side. Again, something we have seen from the OCG a couple of months ago, ever since the introduction of Zodiac Beast. So can we say that we are pretty much in like a tier 0 format? Well, we might can say that a few card decks from past weekend. We saw Billy Break running that spiritual source of revealing light. It's like somewhat of a threatening roar slash Waboku-like card. It also works from the grave, so yeah, a good deck. But yeah, next to that, something we all saw coming. Both My Body as a Shield and Starlight Road are heavily played again, either both in the main deck and or side deck. Probably the main deck in case of My Body as a Shield. And yeah, Starlight Road was, for example, side decked by Noir Green, if I'm not mistaken. But again, these two cards, because of all the mass destruction cards like yeah, Slumber, Kaiju Slumber, Dark Hole, Raigeki, Mirror Force is gaining popularity, and you know, all these mass destruction cards, Torrential Tribute as well, all these mass destruction cards are gaining popularity, so I mean, it's logical also main decking or side decking these decks as we saw in the OCG a couple of months ago. So for the future, also something we could take a look back at the OCG format when, yeah, in a couple of weeks, if I'm not mistaken, the Invoked archetype is going to be released, so Eidolons basically, but they're probably not going to have a huge impact on the format, but yeah, again, with artifacts, it could be a deck that can somewhat combat the Zodiac Beast. And then of course the next set, Maximum Crisis, but that's still a couple of months into the future. So yeah, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.